Why is everything in my refrigerator wet?
You let the kids put the leftovers in the fridge, and they are mightier than the spill-proof shelves in the fridge.
That's not the cause.
You need to turn down the humidity setting in the fridge before the vegetable crisper turns into impromptu vegetable soup.
I think it is already set to have a low humidity level.
Then you need to put less hot and steaming soup and pasta in the fridge, where all the steam condenses into water on the walls of the fridge.
You cannot let the food sit in the room temperature too long, or else it goes bad.
I wonder if your ice maker went bad.
If you have an ice maker in a fridge, the repair rate goes up 50 to 100%.
If the ice maker and the door is leaking, it could leak water into the door.
That's more likely to rust out the door or cause a massive mold colony to grow in it.
That would not make the fridge wet, unless it rusted a hole in the door to spill water into the door.
Or else it explains why leftovers smell like they're bad even if they still look good. What else could explain the fridge's interior being wet?
The freezer vent where the cold air is blown into the fridge is partially blocked, so it builds up ice on the freezer before it melts and drips down into the fridge.
How do you know if the vent is totally blocked?
The freezer looks like Antarctica, but the fridge is not cold at all.
So a partially blocked vent would explain it, if that's the design my fridge has.
The other possibility is that the fridge is leaking refrigerant, causing extra condensate around the coils.
The fridge's coils are on the outside of the fridge. Leaking refrigerant would only explain water dripping off the back of the unit.
So check the water line to your ice maker for leaks, since the water line to the freezer passing through the fridge or door could drip water into the fridge.
That does seem to break every other way these days.
You could also have a damp fridge because the freezer heater is not running every time the freezer starts to ice up. But only after it looks like Antarctica, and the water that does not make it down the drain ends up in the fridge instead.
I'd have a flooded floor if that was the cause.
Then check the door seals for gaps that let outside air in. That lets extra humid air in that can condense as water inside the fridge.
That at least is something cheap to fix, especially if the problem is all the spilled grease I need to clean off the seals.